Blessings and welcome to this walk and talk. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and as always, thank you so much for joining me, for tuning in, for participating in a space where we continuously get to explore, where we continuously get to expand and increase our awareness, where we continuously get to go ever deeper and wider and higher, which is necessary if we want to continue to set ourselves free to soar, to shine, to glow, free to be ever expanding expressions, or allow for ever expanding expressions of who and what we are to emerge, which is necessary if we want to walk this path to freedom, path of freedom. So in all honesty, and today is going to be quite of a challenge. In all honesty, I'm having resistance towards recording this, as this topic is about money. So the topic is, let's talk about money. And I'm having resistance because there are the topic of money, it feels very intimate. It feels very personal. And of course, money is a very charged subject for many of us individuals on this planet. Even those that are having so much money, even those that are having more money than what they really need, more than what they can actually circulate, even to them, the topic of money, to many of us, the topic of money is very sensitive. And as I'm moving through a space where one of the structures that are crumbling and that are being rebuilt is absolutely finances, my personal finances. And as I'm in the space of allowing for that which used to be to dissolve, so that the new may emerge, I'm becoming aware of beliefs and thought forms that are sort of holding me back, that absolutely are not serving me, that are checking, delaying, obstructing the manifestation of the new structures to emerge. And so I caught, was it yesterday, as I was having a conversation with someone, I became aware of this resistance. And I became aware that I very rarely talk about money. And I became aware that stands for something, right? And so I want to set myself free to allow for the next great and grand version of who we are, what I am. And even more so, as I want to stand in service in the way that I'm being called to stand in service, I need to have this conversation, not necessarily recording it. This is a free choice that I'm making. But I need to examine, and I need to become aware of the old beliefs around money. So money is just energy. And here's the thing. It is very easy, at least for me, to speak about money as being energy, and money as being just a flow and a circulation of energy. But do I necessarily feel it? Not always. So there's a couple of things that I want to bring my attention to, that I want to bring into this space of awareness in this talk. And we'll just have to see if I remember them, but in any case, whatever comes through is what is needed to come through. So the background for me is that these last 10 years, there's been a beautiful circulation of money. And me and my family, we're living a very abundant life. We have plenty more than we need. And money has been flowing into our lives beautifully, or actually my life, as I'm the sole provider in the family. But there's always been that sense within me that in order to make money, I need to work hard. And in order to make a lot of money, I need to work many hours, hard and many hours. So I have been in the spiral or the hamster wheel or the circle of trading time for money, and I've traded a lot of time for quite a lot of money. Being that I am now in a space of transformation, being that as I believe I've shared, at the end of last year I bumped up one of my supreme intentions to live a simple, peaceful and quiet life, unbound by time and place. Being that I bumped that up to being my number one priority, that my whole life is needing to move in that direction for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that I sort of hit the ceiling as to how much time for money I can trade. For many years I've been working like 6-7 days a week, like 50-60 hours every week, and that's not at all in alignment with the kind of parent I want to be. That's not at all in alignment with the kind of life I want to live. But I thought it was necessary. I absolutely thought it was necessary to work this much to allow for financial abundance to flow into my life. So that's got to go. That's got to go. As I'm now standing more and more in service to the Path to Freedom app and this beautiful Freedom Tribe family that we are building, that is emerging, that is unfolding, I need to free myself up. I need to allow for myself to be in the energy of being in that space where it is not always, where not all hours are billable, right? Having my own business, that's kind of the thing, that I felt the need to be in the space of being billable, being able to send out invoices. But this that is emerging, it is not about the doing. Absolutely there is doingness. Oh, can you just hear that? Somewhere up here there's a larch, and it just speaks to this. As so many times as I'm out walking, I just become aware of how nothing in nature is striving to get anywhere. Nothing in nature is in that space of thinking or worrying about where the next meal is gonna come from, or how they're gonna survive this day or this week or this month. And I so wanna move deeper into that space. Now I'm not saying, or I am saying, that my life is very peaceful in comparison to what it used to be. My life is very simple in comparison to what it used to be. My life is very quiet in comparison to what it used to be. But I still want to go deeper. I'm still being called to go deeper. And the other reason that that I need to allow for this change that is happening, I'm not saying that it is not, it is absolutely happening, this financial transformation. But the other thing I believe I've shared, that in a few months me and my family are moving out of the country, and one of the reasons that we're moving is because of our son having a difficult time in school, and so we need to find a different kind of schooling for him. Here in Sweden, homeschooling is not allowed, but he needs to, being highly sensitive, as am I, but he needs to have the freedom to choose when to show up. And so we're moving, and he'll be entering into a distance school, which means that while he will have teachers in the different classes, I'm needed to step up as his mentor, day-to-day mentor, which means that I'm going to be spending or hanging out with him in the classroom aspect of life for a number of hours every day. And for that to be possible, for me to be able to show up for him like that, there needs to be a different way of finances coming into our life. But the thing is that I have these subtle beliefs and perceptions around money. As I mentioned, first of all, I just want you to see that beautiful deer. And here comes the rest. Oh, look at them. There they are. How beautiful. They always hang out here. They're my buddies on these walks. Now they're standing just watching us. Ah, they took off. So I have this perception around money that I need to work hard for it. That it does not come cheap. It does not come easy. And a lot of my life, until I got onto this path, it was all about just showing up to make money. And there have been structures in my life that have been lingered, ways that I have provided my services or offered my services that have had nothing to do with joy, that have had nothing to do with inspiration. It's just been a means for money to flow into our lives. So that perception I need to release. And as I'm allowing for more and more money to flow, what is it called? Passively, where I don't need to show up at a particular time, where I don't need to trade my time for the money to flow up. As more and more of our finances are flowing in through that, is being moved over, as the scale is tipping over to that passive income, I'm also finding myself in this, in the, here's another deer. In the limited belief that being what I do, or doing what I do, being a teacher, guiding others, being of service, standing in service to God, to this loving presence, serving the transformation, the evolution of human consciousness, assisting individuals in waking up and transforming their lives, that this is not worthwhile. This is not, I shouldn't make a lot of money on this. And I have brought this into practitioner sessions. I brought this into my prayer journal. I brought this into meditation. I brought this into prayer, but it still lingers. That it is not helping others to make money. That's a call for making a lot of money. But helping others to feel good, I'm not supposed to be rich on that, and I'm not striving for money. And that's another thing. Did you just hear that? The moment I said that that I'm not supposed to be rich, and then I just counter that, and I make excuses, and I sort of deny myself that. Now, my life is not about being rich. My life is not about making millions of dollars, or Swedish crowns, or Swiss francs, or whatever. But there needs to be a beautiful circulation, and there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money, which is probably one of the core beliefs that I have, that there is something wrong with having money, that it speaks to qualities such as greed, or inhumanity, or lack of compassion, or lack of love, or lack of kindness. that those that are rich, that have lots and lots and lots of money, that they walk over all others. They have no concern for the environment. They have no concern for humanity, for other beings. They only care about making a lot of money. I know I'm not like that, but that still, I sort of associate money with those traits, those qualities. I had a beautiful teacher, Mr. Bob Proctor, and he used to say that money is good for only two things. And money is good for making our lives comfortable. When we have enough money, more than enough money, we don't need to live from day to day or week to week or month to month. We don't need to concern ourselves with how to pay our bills, or can we go on this trip, or do I need to compromise? I can do this, but then I can't afford that. So he was saying that money is good for that, to allow for our lives to run smoothly, to run effortlessly, where we can turn our attention toward all the things that we want to do in life, all the ways we want to express ourselves in life, all the things that bring us joy, so that we don't have to, as I have been doing a lot, and to a very small extent still am doing, just showing up as a means of getting money. And then he said that the other thing that money is good for is for us to be of higher service. And I absolutely know that for me to midwife that which is being born, that which is being birthed, there's going to need an expansion of financial circulation. But I have that sense that being a teacher is not supposed to be lucrative, right? So I've done a lot of studies, like Reverend Michael, like Tony Robbins, like Eckhart Tolle, like others. There's what's his name, Dalai Lama, all these beautiful beings that are doing so much in the world and for the world, and they have plenty of money. Like, they are, except for perhaps Dalai Lama, who doesn't have personal possessions in that way, but he's got enough resources to do pretty much anything he wants to do. And Reverend Michael and Tony Robbins and Eckhart Tolle, they are all good for like tens of millions of dollars. So it is not the money in and of itself, and I'm speaking to myself here, it is not the money in and of itself that is the villain on this planet. It is what we choose to do with the money. And the more money we have, the more money I have, the more I can serve, the more I can turn my energy toward serving and only being of service. And I need to address this more. When I'm in my prayer journal, I absolutely love to write about how I'm being of service, and about the Freedom Family that is emerging, and this global ministry, and the app, and how it is serving so many individuals around the world, and in such a loving and powerful way. And I absolutely love being in that space. But from time to time, I'm feeling compelled to write and to bring into that space the topic of money. And I cannot bring myself. I mean, it takes such an effort for me to, it's almost as though there's some guilt or shame associated with making too much money. And I don't know what too much is. But when I'm in that prayer journal, and when I write about the financial abundance and the financial circulation, it takes an effort for me to write about that. It takes an effort for me to write, to see myself, to feel myself, to imagine myself making millions of dollars every month. Not necessarily every month, every year. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, there's just resistance within me. And the resistance is not that I'm not worthy of it. The resistance is not that I am not worthy to live an even more simple and peaceful and quiet life. But the resistance is that I have this judgment, this opinion about money, and this line of work that or line of being of service that I'm on, that it is not to be lucrative. This is not supposed to be about money. And I know for me it's not, but it's still... So there's a jumble of, there's this, it's like a spider web of little beliefs. You know, in a spider web, how the web itself is connected through these little knots or dots, and that it is these connections where two threads meet and they are intertwined and intertangled, or however the spider does it. That it is these dots that sustain the net. In my case, it is these subtle, and they are so, I mean, they're coming up now, but as I'm moving through my day, I'm hardly aware of these subtle thoughts and beliefs and judgments. So they're very difficult for me to heal in that sense. I know it's getting a little bit windy. I'm hoping that it's not too much, that the wind does not block out my voice. And anyhow, there was something that I wanted to say. It's very windy here, so let's go down to the lake again. Let's see if I can remember it. No, I cannot. Can you hear the blackbird? Let's see if we can find it. It sounds as though it's pretty close. So if we'll just look at this beautiful scenery behind me, all this abundance, and even the leaves on the trees that are beginning to emerge. The tree is not doing anything, like this tree here. It is not doing anything for all that is needed for these leaves to emerge, to just be here. And that is that is absolutely trusting that all needs are met. Like that lily on the field that doesn't spin, it doesn't struggle, it doesn't effort, and yet it is so beautifully provided for. This is the lily on the field. This bush, it doesn't struggle, it doesn't do anything, and yet all these leaves and all these little flower buds that are emerging, they just emerge. Everything is needed, so all needs are met. Oh, I was gonna say that. So there have been times when I have actually hated money. Not hated money, but hated the power of money, that I have given money in my life. I don't know why I said that. It's true, but I don't know why I said it. There was probably a point to it, but I don't remember it right now. All right, so probably to be continued, at least in the closet of my on the altar of my awareness. This will be continued because money is such a it is such a big topic, and as it is being released, there's a lot of thoughts, and there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of things coming up within me with regards to money. I absolutely know that it is already done. I absolutely know that it is happening, but there is resistance within me in releasing that which no longer serves. I'm finding myself buying into the ego's excuses as to how I could better spend my time and how I could better spend my days. But just the fact that I am having this conversation is proof that it is being released and let go of. It would have been a whole lot more difficult for me to have, and I probably even hadn't recorded before because it was too sensitive, too personal. And I'm still aware of of the thought form. I wonder what they're gonna think. If they're gonna think I'm a complete nut job, or if all those that are tuning in, watching, listening on a regular basis, if they're just gonna leave because I'm just too crazy, and I haven't even. So there are all these thoughts coming up. It's. I mean, I'm laughing at them. A part of me, a small part of me, fears that they may be true. The major part of me, the consciousness that I am, absolutely know that they are not true. And even if it is, it's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me. So I think that's all. This was a long talk. This was a long talk. And I'm happy that you are still here, that you watched it or listened to it to the very end. Until we meet again, with much love, many blessings. Namaste.